All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael. It's a pleasure to be here. I got a microphone, so I'm hoping that this works pretty well. And today, I made a pretty bold claim yesterday that I'm going to be having a conversation which could possibly be the most important ideas that I've ever learned in my life. And I'm going to stay true to that. So, uh, the conversation today is around the master system, right? And let's take it a step back to Think and Grow Rich for a second, right? So Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, right? Arguably one of the most important chapters in there is the chapter on making decisions, right? Napoleon Hill analyzed over 25,000 men and women and found out that the most successful individuals knew how to make clear-cut decisions, and because they knew what they wanted. And so, what I'm going to be explaining today is, okay, let's talk about the system, right? How can you make the best decisions for yourself, whatever it comes down to? So, this idea I got from this book called Awaken the Giant Within. It's by Tony Robbins. And the idea that I'm going to share with you today is possibly one of the greatest ideas that I've ever been taught, right? My own mentor taught me this, and it has absolutely changed my life. And I really thought that it would be valuable sharing with you. So I'm going to do my best to explain it. And here we go. So, the question is like, okay, how can you make, good decisions, even starting today? Because if you want to change your life, you're going to be, you can, let's start off with this, right? There's no such thing as fate, right? You can absolutely decide the life that you want to live, but how can you make the best decision for you? Well, the truth is it all starts with your state of mind. And this idea of elevating your state of mind is by far the most important idea that I've ever learned, right? I have probably like 50 books here. I've studied them all, and they have a lot of good stuff in them, but I'm telling you, there was one idea that stood out to me, and it was elevating my state of mind that stood out the most, right? So today I'm going to talk about, what is a state of mind and how can you truly, change, not only just make decisions, but how can you truly change the quality of your life so that you can win in this world? Because, why should we wait till we make $1 million to actually enjoy our life right now? Right? So that's the conversation today. So I'm going to read the definition of what a state of mind is, right? Tony Robbins says that a state of mind is the sum total of all your experiences at any given moment, right? It's like basically the sum of a bunch of millions of neurological processes happening within you, right? Your state of mind. This has been talked about in Think and Grow Rich. It's been talked about by Tony Robbins. This is an idea that the top 1% of the top 1% understand. And so I want to talk about, okay, how can you truly elevate your state of mind so that you can make better decisions for yourself and actually, start today improving the quality of your life. Okay, so there's three basic factors, or three foundational factors that come when it comes to elevating your state of mind, right? It all starts with your physiology, in your focus. It starts with what you focus on, and then your language and meaning. So I'm going to break down all three today so that you have a clear understanding on, how you can start changing your state of mind now. Because I'm telling you, if you can be in a positive state of mind, right, not a slouch, negative state of mind, right? If you can learn to have a determined, certain state of mind, right, you can win, right? If you want to be the best salesperson in the world, right, you're going to need to have the state of mind as like certainty, right? How am I possibly going to convey this idea to you of, how important it is to have a state of mind if I'm sounding uncertain, right? If I'm like, damn, like, this is a really important idea that I'm going to share with you, and I think it would be worth checking out, right? A lot of you would be watching and be like, man, this guy is full of bullcrap. But this is something I truly believe in, and something that I really want to convey to you. So, even if you were a salesperson, right? Remember, the sale starts before you even pick up that phone and start dialing. So it all starts with your state of mind, right? What is your mental state before you go in for the sale? Because I'm telling you, like the prospect, they're gonna see it, and if they really believe and how certain you are about how good your product or service is, right, they're gonna give you way more of a chance than if you weren't certain. All right. So I'm gonna go to the starting point because this is really important, right? How do you elevate your state of mind? So it starts with your physiology, right? Your physiology, right? Are you just rolling out of bed and starting the day, right? If you aren't exercising or moving that body, then you're going to be in a lousy state. Think about this. When you are stuck on the couch, like a couch potato, are you in a better state or a worse state of mind? Or you're in a worse state. The only reason, well, I'm not going to say that, but I've been able to develop a system so that I get my body moving, right? I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and I'll go to the gym so that I can start my day off like already getting done a workout and being in a positive state of mind so that the rest of the day, I'm actually in like peak mode, right? I don't really work out so much to work out my muscles. I actually do it more so for my brain. And so that the rest of the day, when it comes to, having an effective day, right, I can do it because I'm already in that peak state. So it really starts with actually getting up and exercising. Right? If you're not working out in some way, shape, or form, then you're gonna, decrease the state that you have. And what is that gonna do? It's gonna impact your decision making and make things much harder for you. So that's physiology, right? You gotta really get up and move, right? It's said that emotion, right? Your emotions are just your body in motion. Okay. Now, the second part of your state of mind is like, what are you actually focusing on? Right? Are you focusing on what's going well in your life, or are you focusing on the negatives, right? What's not going well? Are you focusing on the fact that you aren't rich yet? Are you focusing on the fact that, this today, that you actually woke up and it is an absolute pleasure to be here today because you have another shot to move the needle just a tiny bit forward today, right? So it all comes down to what are you focusing on? Because what you focus on will have a direct impact on your state of mind, right? For me, I don't focus on the news. I don't watch any of that stuff. I actually, set up parameters in my life to block out a ton of negativity so that I'm only focused on what I want. And like, that's the ideal goal, to only focus and concentrate on your end goal so that it's, like there's going to be a lot of distractions that come up. But if you can continue to focus on on your definite major purpose, then you're going to have a more impactful state. Now, another way to really change what you focus on really comes down to the questions that you are asking yourself, right? The only difference between me and you is based on the actual questions that we ask ourselves. And that's the same thing for me and my mentor, right? The only difference between you and the top 1% of the top 1% of individuals is that you habitually ask different questions, because what you ask, right, there's always an answer to. And think about this, right? I talk a lot about, Think and Grow Rich and what does it mean to actually think, right? All thinking is, right? This is what Tony Robbins says. All thinking is just asking questions and answering them, right? So then it comes down to, okay, how do you actually think better? How do you think and grow rich better? Right? You have to start by asking better questions, right? What is the question that you need to ask yourself that's going to get you to the next level? That's going to help you, actually start your journey, right? What's that question that you need to ask yourself? And so questions are so important. And I learned from the top 1% of individuals that they just ask better questions than I do, right? They don't ask questions of, oh, why is this so hard? Why does this always happen to me? No, they ask questions of, okay, how can it get done? Right? What do I need to do to accomplish my goal? What are the daily habits that I need to set up in my life so that, I get the ball rolling? Right? They just ask better questions. And so that's something that I'm going to talk, more and more on, because this is so important, right? How do you actually think? We got to start by asking yourself better questions. All right. So that was like focus, right? Two things that I talked about, right? Physiology and then focus. Now, the third thing, and this is really important as well, that goes so under the rug, is language and meaning, right? What's that phrase in the Bible, right? Life and death is in the power of the tongue, right? They weren't joking about that, right? What you actually say will affect your state of mind. And people don't even realize this, but a big thing is the metaphors that you use, right? If you constantly, you may not even realize this, it might be subconscious, but if you are saying that life's a bitch, right? Life is such a chore, life is impossible, right? That is going to directly impact your state of mind, right? If you think about it, the things that you say, the global metaphors that you have, literally create your reality. Like, your words create your reality. So what I did, what I was taught to do, is to change my metaphors, change my language, right? Change how I say things, because that literally changes my reality. So some things, right? Making money is a game, right? Life is a game, right? This is all a game to me. And it's like, okay, now I can actually win the game, right? Yeah, it's going to be challenging, but that's part of the game, right? So if you think about it, that changes everything compared to, oh, wow.